Hey, what's up everyone? This is Grembo from Emotionless Crypto Trading, and we're going to run some market analysis for Ethereum compared to Tether USD on Poloniex Exchanger. 2 hours candlesticks right there. Trading.com is the website where I'm running this market analysis, and this is not a prediction video as usually. It's just a market analysis, and I'm the voice that I'm sharing it, right? So let's get started. Let's see our current situation, guys. And we're around 286 right now after a minor bounce back, should I say. It do not looks like a crash of the market, which used to be more powerful and more substantial, right? So if we look at the crash of the market, which happened very near to our all-time high position right here, the crash of the market at that time represented about 36%, as you can see right there. I'm using a tool to measure that, and it represents 36.6%. Right now, as it looks like from the top, we're just like 14 around 15%, right? So that's how it looks like. That doesn't mean we do not have possibilities for another growth or any other movement, right? So we're not stabilized currently to follow a certain direction. That's why we have to see closely on what's going to happen within the market over the next hours and days, right? So let's get started on this market analysis and see what we have. We had a nice trending support line which started from here, and it goes like this, continuously like this, right? With a trending support line breakout right over here, which caused basically the price to fall down as quickly as matter of 2 to 4 hours down to $267 for Ethereum, which is definitely low for the price we used to consider. We had like yesterday we were around 316, today down to 267. That's quite a big difference in the price, right? So we had that trending support line breakout just a few hours ago, and we are having a little bit of recovery after that. But let's take a look at our massive resistance zones and what caused Ethereum to block at a certain price point. Now, as we were having our trending support line, on the other side of the river we had the trending resistance line. Now the trending resistance line starts from here and it goes up like that, which followed basically the uptrending channel, right? You can very easily see that how we were right here in an uptrending channel. That's fine. Now what happened at some certain point right here, actually we had a breakout. Everyone thought from there we're going to skyrocket up to the all-time high, which represents right over here, this blue line represents the $407 all-time high basically. So everyone thought we break out of this uptrend even on the resistance side, not on the support side, which represents a more powerful growth. But that ended up to be a fake breakout of the trending resistance line, which I pointed over here, right? So it was a fake breakout because we were kind of getting back so quickly back in our channel that it wasn't meaningful at all. That's what I want to mean. It wasn't meaningful at all. A breakout needs to confirm forward, not to get back in the channel basically. And you can very easily see that we went up to this 360, which is a massive resistance zone. That's what I pointed here. 363 between 319, we have a massive resistance zone. I was talking about that even in my previous video presentations. We've got here the establishment point. Actually, this is the establishment point. We've got here a couple of shadows which represent like two confirmations there, right? And then it continues as a resistance basically right over here, once again over here, and once again over here, right? So it kind of continues as a resistance level, should I say zone, between 316 and 319 so far quite heavily since what was that June 24th, during July and August basically, still continuing as a major resistance zone, which is definitely powerful as resistance and as selling pressure for the Ethereum, right? So that's something that we have to consider around that price point. If it's sustained like that, if it was capable to be active for such a long period of time, we're going to have troubles, and we did have a lot of troubles breaking out of that. Now when we succeed doing that, it's going to be amazing for the Ethereum. But before that, let me get back to the explanation why that was a fake breakout of the trending resistance line, right? So we went up to the 316, 319 resistance zone, and we pretty quickly came back into our channel, right? Now after that, you see how here we tried once again basically to break out of this trending resistance line, and once again one more time over here. So we tried, actually I'll actually zoom in a little bit for you to see it better. So we tried once again over here and one more time over here to break out of this resistance line, and it just ended up unsuccessfully, right? So that represents a fake breakout here, which is definitely something that I was considering as a fake signal offered by the market to buy into Ethereum at that price point, which needs to be considered. As of right now, you have learned something else. Probably this is something new for you, which is definitely going to help you how to consider the things from right now. There are certain times when the positions represent fake breakouts or fake confirmations. The market not always confirms on the specific prices, or if it has a movement, that doesn't mean it's confirmed, right? So you got to give it time and see how the market always reacts after that in order to see and wait for the confirmation. It's very simple. That's why you have to be patient. Patient is the key word that we always have to use in the crypto space if we would like to become professional traders. And this is something that I'm sharing with you. Hopefully it helps you quite a lot. Be patient around the market analysis you're doing. Be patient about your entries. You don't have to trade on daily basis. You don't have to buy in, sell out dozens of times every single day because you see the price movement and the volatility high, and you get under panic, you get under emotion, and that's not going to help you at all. Because there's also the other side of the things, which I'm sure you're aware about, the fees you're paying to these exchanges by selling and buying. If you do this in tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if you do that a couple of times a day, unnecessary movements, then obviously you will end up paying hundreds of dollars unnecessary fees on daily basis, which is not fun at all at the end of the month, right? So this is our current situation, guys. We also have a very beautiful support zone between 220 and 225 right here. Now this thing basically ended up as a resistance at this time, which confirmed as a resistance once again over here, but actually it triggered our parabolic movement from 220s, which was basically almost the last parabolic movement. The last one was here, and almost the last one is basically over here, right? So definitely that's an important price point. Now before we get forward to the most important price point, which I'm also talking in the other video presentations I made in the last two videos as well I made around the Ethereum, is the 264, 265, 266 price point, whatever, but it's exactly around that one. So what happens is this blue line basically which starts from here, right? You want to look after this blue line basically, which starts from there, and you will understand basically why we confirmed again as support at that time. So there was a great entry point for people after this trending support line breakout. There was a great entry point basically for whoever is active day trading or swing trader at the specific price points I'm going to talk about and explain you why. So we do have here confirming basically on the support side, right? Exactly here where it has been established. Then it continues forward basically right here. I'm just going to delete that and make it way more clear. Just give me a second. Sorry for that. Yeah, good. So it continues forward basically right here and acts as a resistance, because that's where it triggered down the way a downtrending channel, which represented a downtrending environment, quite powerful from 264 down to 137, right? So again, that price point at that specific time was representing a lot of selling pressure. Now, even if we consider before that, when the structure was trading above this line, right? So you see the structure basically trading above this line. At that time, this one acted as a support, which is fine. So we continued forward, we break out of this line, right? And then basically it acted as a resistance, right? So it triggered down the way a movement. We came down to this price point, 137, 136, whatever was the price at that time. But what happened afterward is we had here a V pattern basically, which usually happens. In the bottoms, we used to have W's or V pattern basically. Depends how the market is going to act, depends what's the volatility. For example, again, right here, a V pattern. Right here on the other side, we've got a W pattern basically. Make sure for all my video presentations, you want to use the full size of the video on the entire screen, right? Because this is the way you're going to see all the details I'm talking about and all the lines I'm going to have here. Right over here, once again, in the bottom, a W pattern, right? So these two patterns are extremely popular in the bottoms of any single cryptocurrency, which is usually the way it works, right? After a parabolic movement down the way, this is what we used to have, right? So we used to get back pretty quickly to the same level or almost to the same level. But the nice growth that you have at that time is definitely a great one to accumulate on, right? So let's get back to our 265. Like I said, from here we went back up, and just look what happened. Here we have a long shadow, right? A long shadow which ended at the same price point, 264, 266, 265, exactly what I was talking about. And if you remember about this price, if you watch my other videos, you do remember about it, right? For sure. Now, you see how this one acts differently. Depends where the market is traded. Is it traded below or above this level? When we were trading below, it acted as a resistance. When we were traded above, it acted as a support. And I'll explain you why. Look at this one. It acted as a support once again, right? So what that means, this structure basically with 265, it acted once again as a support when we traded above the 265, 66, 64 line. When we traded below that, it acted as a resistance. So that's great if you break out of that, which happened over here. We were definitely able to break out of that to build up a structure above it and then have it as a support instead of have it as a resistance, which is pushing us down the way. Now this way, it kind of helps us to sustain above this level, which is great. Exactly like it helped us within this rectangle right here on the left side, very close to the all-time high. 264, 65, 66 were acting as a support. When it was traded below that, it acted as a resistance, as you can see right over here, right? So definitely that's something to consider right now. This is pretty much how the market looks like. Now we do have a lot of the possibilities basically to have bouncings within this area. We have a lot of possibilities basically for the next days to have bouncings within that area, as long as please consider two important points for the next decisions that you want to have. 266, 65, 64, and the 316 between 319 basically resistance. That's the resistance. The other one, which I said first, is the support, right? So this is where we're going to act over the next days, guys. And this is how the market is going to look like. In order to make a great decision, you have to run market analysis based 2 hours, 1 hour, or 30 minutes. Depends on the type of the trading that you would like to do. So that is what it is for now, guys. And the market gave us an opportunity to find an entry here. And like I said, if you were watching my other videos, you were able to see that this price point is acting extremely nicely and has a major impact in the Ethereum compared to Tether USD, Poloniex, 2 hours candlestick specifically. This is what we're talking about. I know a lot of people are watching this, and maybe you guys are considering as a prediction on something, but it is not really a prediction at all. It's just the language of the market, which I'm sharing with you, and I'm trying to help you with the market analysis that you have to do for yourself, right? So hopefully this is gonna help you guys. So now I'm really wondering, what do you guys think about the upcoming movement? Because like I said, the massive resistance zone between 360 and 319 is powerful, and we have to consider it because it confirmed a lot of the times. Like it has been established here, confirmed over here as well, and over here like 2 times or 3 times. So definitely it has a strong power, and it's really balanced on the resistance side alone. It do not really act as a support. So what we need in order to transform 316 between 319 zone as a support is we need a breakout out of that and a continuous growth at least to 340, then come back basically to 316, 319, where we can confirm as a support, right? That's what we need if we would like to move higher in the next rectangle basically with our structure, right? So definitely that's something to consider. Now we also have the possibility basically to confirm once again on 265, 66, 64 major and the most important price point for Ethereum. That's what I'm considering if the market creates a downtrending channel right now. So as we see, the entire crypto space have decreased in the last hours, especially Bitcoin, which I was expecting a crash for it for sure, because the parabolic movement it had, they were non-natural, and the way it used to be, when you grow too much too quickly, you definitely have consequences of that, like I used to see every single time, which also happened with the other coins, which wasn't natural. I mean, the other coins should not have followed the route of Bitcoin, should not follow the behavior of Bitcoin in the last hours, because the other coins were not following the growth of the Bitcoin, or at least growing with a smaller speed. Not all of them were growing like that. The spotlight was on the Bitcoin, and then when Bitcoin started to decrease heavily in the last hours, I mean, it was like $500-600 decrease, which is something between 10 to 20%. It wasn't really a big deal considering the big growth it had, but that not, you know, it's something that I really like to consider as normal after the huge increases. So you should not be worried about these things when you're trading, guys, and this kind of thing should not be affect you emotionally. That's why I'm saying you have to be prepared and expect the unexpected whenever you're trading. That's why I'm trying to help you with this market analysis, and hopefully I've got some time to do market analysis for the Bitcoin as well, because that's going to help a lot of the people. And the Bitcoin Cash, which is something very interesting, and I'm kind of expecting a few things from there as well to see how that comes out, if it has the power basically to go forward and approach the 500, 600 as well. Bitcoin Cash we're talking about, and we'll see how that comes out, if it has the power. Exactly like I said, we'll see from the market analysis. Hopefully I've got some time, guys, to do some more videos here on YouTube. But you know, definitely I'm gonna take care of the private students and dedicate a lot more time to these guys and help them with the business to become professional traders. Yeah, you can do the same. You can become my student. I'm having a one-on-one coaching program within the first link in the description area of this video presentation, guys. So that's kind of all about. Feel free to subscribe on my YouTube channel if you have enjoyed this video presentation, if it helps you. If so, feel free to share this video presentation on your social media. Hit the like button, which helps me, and I see your reaction, and the feedback is well appreciated in the comments area as well, dislikes and everything, guys. I appreciate for everything you have done for me, and thank you so much for being here. Talk to you soon.